Box YouTube channel. Today we're going to finish going over this wonderful old barn find 19-inch Sanyo TV. As you can see, it's very dirty, and since it's dirty, I'm not going to work on a nice clean bench. I'm going to work on it right here in the bed of the truck. So first things first, since it doesn't turn on, let's go ahead and open it up. Couldn't help but to choose a windy, loud, polleny day, but as you can see, this TV is not going to be affected by any of that. So we're going to start off by taking off, all these screws here. Sorry for the background of the airplanes. And we'll see what's inside and it makes it tick, because when you plug it in, it does absolutely nothing. Let's go ahead and get it tilted up. Got some weight to it. Terrible. 19-inch, but you can see it shaking the whole truck. Alright. Start by popping off some of these things we don't need. Pretty sure this antenna is vintage as can be. It's got tan tips. We'll have to see. I'll put it on fast mode for you guys. Upon opening it up, we see a dusty mess of dust and a few other different things here. Interesting to note, the cable for the antenna is also the same as what you maybe would find on the rabbit ears, only it's part of the actual assembly that goes inside. So what I'm hoping is maybe one of these, there's a few fuses in here. That cap looks a little fat, maybe. Something easy, I'm hoping, because I really don't want to do a ton of work to this, but fingers crossed to bring it back to life somehow. The tube itself doesn't look terrible. It's not all burnt up, so it might still be kind of a low hours unit, but stuff with this amount of dust says otherwise. Alright, so I got the board out. As you can see, it's just a mess. That's an inductor. It's kind of faded apart, but it's still fine. I checked the fuse here, and that one's still good. I don't see any smoking gun anywhere. So before I go digging too deep, maybe I'll pull off that board and see if the power button's actually making contact. Alright, so check this out. We got volume, channel, power button. See a difference between the two? I've got a nub on this one for clicking. This one doesn't have anything. So hopefully that's the issue. I did find it laying in there. I don't know if it fell off when I took it off or not, so might have to do a power up test as it sits. Kind of put it back together roughly. See if it turns on first before we really start tearing into it. Alright, so I got it ready to turn on. Let's see if pushing this button does anything. Yes, I heard it kick right on. Alright, let's take a gander around the front side here. We have the... waiting for it. Aha! It's alive. See, that's a great reason we didn't go digging in all the parts. Who knows how long it's been since this thing's been turned on. Okay. Obviously we took all the buttons off, but I was curious of how to change it to AV. So now it's warmed up a little bit. Looks like it's looking pretty good. The volume does work. So what we got to figure out here is just to get that little nubby thing back onto that button, or maybe manipulate the buttons up front there. It's really the hardest part of this, which is great. And then I have to look up instructions of how to get the AV to work, because I don't see any button specific for that. So now that we know what the simple issue is, other than fixing the button, we can clean up some of this while it's apart. And obviously this is a dusty mess, but I'm going to pull off the inputs. Important thing to note, have an MS out, or is that MS out, audio in, video in. I don't know what MS out is. Looks like some kind of audio, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and take this over here to wash. Get it all nice and clean. It's right, dirty. So easier than using some kind of brush or something. Maybe it'll be in a whole new color. We'll see. I'll get a little bit of soap on there with the brush anyways, but as you can see, it clearly needed it. And there's some oil on the bottom from whenever it was sitting in the barn or something. Actually, we'll use simple green. That seems to be a good, look at that. That sticker's shiny, it wasn't before. Let that soak in. Don't be shy. Get nice and lathered up. Let it sit a few minutes. Get an old brushy brush. See how it turns out. And we're gonna blow it out with this. Sorry about the noise. Can't really see it a lot, but I might adjust this coming out. Alright, I got it all cleaned up on the bottom. Got the PCB cleaned up as good as I could. Just gonna have to replace that button next. Alright, so what I did is I took the broken piece off the button. Let's see if I can focus this a little more. Yeah, anyways, there's an old nub here on the button. Can't see it, but it's supposed to make contact with this button here. So I just glued it onto that side down there. This little nubs here that came off. And then I'll stick that back on, and hopefully I aligned it right. We got ourselves a button. All right, now that we got this connected, will it work? Have to give it a good firm push. Waiting for it. There it is. I believe we have fixed it. All right, now we move on to the rest of the detail, and then we'll see if we can put a video to it. Button it up a few things and see how it looks. All right, so we got this all buttoned up back together. Just gonna put the controller back for the AVs back onto the freshly cleaned back part, button them together, and then we'll go on to the next step. So we're gonna take some simple green again, get the rest of the oil off of this side. I don't know why you had some oil on there. Try not to get the PCB. You can see it in the color. A little more. And there you have it. So with the remaining on the front, you see it from this barn dust and what have you, and then there's some cobwebs that was up in that part. Get it nice and cleaned up. She'll be beautiful yet again. And then we're going to take this brush and kind of take a little bit of a, there we go. A little bit of wet brush up in there and get all the cobwebs and dust out. And like just places like this in the corner. Up. And there's lots of little crevices up on here. We're just going to go over each one. Detail it up. It looks awesome already. And there's like a lot of top pieces here. Move some stuff out of the way. Well, I only have water on here, so it's not going to be hurting anything. There we are. And then we'll do a little dip. Shake, shake. And inside the speaker, hopefully we'll get all the little cobwebs out, and we'll have nice and clean. So we see the condition of the power cord from that time frame. It's not terrible, you know, about what you expect. A little dust. As far as the rest of the TV, there's some fading happening, like here. So whoever's sitting here for years or in the sun, a little bit of scratches on the case. Not too bad, and this little fading here and there. So we'll dress it up a little bit and make it nice and beautiful. Here with my lovely daughter model, peeling off of this really ancient plastic to reveal what should have been taken off a long time ago. A beautiful unscratched display area. Satisfying. And it came off real easy. First time we've done this, we're going to take some of this quick detailer for leather. We're just going to go over all the plastics on here to refresh them. All over the back where it needs it the most. Just kind of make it look like it's a brand new TV. Maybe you can see a little bit better on this side, but there's a little bit of fading down here. No, I'm not doing this to help it sell better because it's already sold. But you can see the difference. We'll do a photo video around the outside of it when we're done. But, you know, just heat it up, make it nice and refreshed, like it was right off the showroom floor. Y'all, you can see it came out beautiful from what the great abyss of hell it came from. So let's go ahead and connect it up to a video game and see if it games as well as it looks. Made it this far in the video, congratulations. Let's see how it does. As you can see here it kicked on. Hopefully it displays some video. It does. Turn up the volume and then begin gaming. That would be the Nintendo. Begin gaming. There we are. Sorry for the airplanes in the background. I can say it's got a nice clear picture. You may notice there's some darkness here. Get a different angle, and down here it's not the actual video because it is full screen still, but I'm not sure if there's like some kind of setting. I'm trying to get a better picture, but again, I don't have the remote, so I can't get rid of the display and probably that setting there, but best I can tell, the TV works great. It's got good sound. Trying to experiment with this modern Samsung remote. I heard it click. Let's see if it powers up. Yeah, so far looks like just slow. Oh, there it goes. Powering on. Here we are. And then does the input work? Oh, let's see, volume works beautifully. Input. Touchy. Come on. Here it is. And lastly, Nintendo. Comes right to life. Pretty cool. Picture looks great. plugging in the adapter here, we see what kind of colors we're looking at. Still not the full screen, so I guess there's something probably wrong with it. Let's see if we can access the menu. By pressing the info button, you can see that the push it, see how it comes and goes. So that goes away, which is nice. So I ended up moving the TV on to the next owner before I had a chance to finish filming this, so apologize for the abrupt ending. However, I told him if he wanted me to continue troubleshooting, he had to give it back to me. But he seemed pretty enthused to want to do it himself. Otherwise, we maybe would have a part 2 in the future, but we'll see. But thanks you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time from the IdioBox CRT YouTube channel.